Hey everyone, welcome back to Car Flash, the channel where glossy brochure promises face the cold honesty of real-world analysis, where spec sheets aren't just rattled off, but tested against what truly matters, and where every car, from humble commuters to high-stakes icons, has to earn its place under the spotlight. Today we've got something interesting. The 2026 Honda Ridgeline. Honda's unconventional entry into the truck segment has always stood apart from the crowd, and this latest update is pushing even harder against the norms of what a midsize pickup is supposed to be. The question is, does it finally give buyers the rugged yet refined balance they've been waiting for? Or does it still live in the shadow of more traditional rivals? Let's break it down in detail. Exterior. The first thing anyone notices about the 2026 Ridgeline is the front end. Honda has clearly listened to critics who said earlier versions looked a little too much like a pilot SUV that had grown a bed. This time, the nose is bolder, the grille is more upright, and the headlights have a sharper LED signature that instantly makes it look more truck-like. The grille has a layered mesh pattern that feels more premium, framed by a new chrome or gloss black strip depending on trim level. The bumper is chunkier with functional-looking air intakes, and there's a noticeable improvement in the stance. The hood line is flatter, the proportions broader, and the overall vibe is finally more in line with what truck buyers expect when they walk into a dealership. It doesn't scream aggression like a Toyota Tacoma TRD Pro or Ford Ranger Raptor, but it carries a quiet confidence that fits Honda's style. From the side, you can tell Honda is sticking to its unibody roots, and that's both a blessing and a curse. The Ridgeline doesn't have the high-riding, exaggerated wheel arches of body-on-frame competitors, but what it lacks in brute force posture it makes up for in sleekness. The lines are clean, the doors flush, and the bed integrates smoothly into the cab without looking awkward. Honda has slightly flared the fenders for 2026, and depending on trim you can get wheel options from 18 to 20 inches, with tougher-looking all-terrain tires available on the TrailSport model. The roof line is relatively low compared to rivals, which helps with aerodynamics and ease of access but may turn off those who want the towering look of a truck that could climb a mountain. What it nails, however, is practicality. The proportions mean it's easy to maneuver in city streets, and the ride height is approachable without needing a ladder to get inside. Swing around to the back and you're greeted by one of the Ridgeline's most underrated tricks. Its dual-action tailgate. It can drop down traditionally or swing open sideways, giving you flexibility that no other truck in the class offers. The tailgate itself is reinforced for durability, and right underneath, you'll find the famous in-bed trunk, a lockable, weather-sealed compartment big enough to swallow coolers, tools, or even a spare tire. For 2026, Honda has made it slightly deeper and added a drainage system that makes it even more usable as a cooler during tailgate parties or camping trips. The rear lights now use a modern LED pattern, and the bumper has been beefed up slightly for a more rugged look. Overall, the back end combines clever engineering with a straightforward, clean design, which is very Honda. Interior. Step inside, and this is where the Ridgeline really starts to distance itself from the competition. Instead of trying to be a rugged, bare-bones workhorse, Honda has leaned hard into comfort, refinement, and usability. The dashboard is clean and horizontal, with a new 12.3-inch central touchscreen that finally feels competitive in size and resolution. Wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto are standard, and Honda's new infotainment software is smoother and more intuitive than before. Right in front of the driver sits a 10.2-inch digital instrument cluster that can be customized for trip data, off-road information, or driver assistance features. Materials are a step above what you'll find in most midsize pickups. Soft-touch plastics, stitched surfaces, and available leather upholstery make it feel closer to a family SUV than a bare-bones truck. The seats themselves are wide and supportive, with heating and ventilation available, and Honda has added extra sound insulation to keep the cabin quiet even at highway speeds. Rear passengers aren't forgotten either. Legroom is generous for the class. The rear seats fold up to reveal a flat storage floor for gear, and clever touches like USB-C ports, rear climate vents, and available heated seats make it more practical for families. One of the big wins here is that the Ridgeline doesn't force you to compromise between owning a truck and having SUV-like daily comfort. You really do get both. Performance under the hood. The Ridgeline sticks with a familiar formula, but it's been fine-tuned. The standard engine is a 3.5-liter V6 making 285 horsepower and 262 pound-feet of torque, paired with the 10-speed automatic transmission. Power delivery is smooth and refined rather than brutal, but it's enough to get the Ridgeline moving with authority, even when loaded with gear. Towing capacity sits around 5,000 pounds, which isn't class-leading but covers what most mid-sized truck buyers actually need. Payload capacity is just over 1,500 pounds. For those wanting more adventurous capability, Honda has tuned its all-wheel drive system with torque vectoring to give the Ridgeline surprising agility off-road. It's not going to conquer mob trails like a hardcore rock crawler, but on dirt roads, gravel, mud, or snow, it feels secure and capable. The TrailSport trim in particular adds skid plates, all-terrain tires, and a slightly retuned suspension, giving outdoorsy buyers a bit more confidence when venturing off the beaten path. The ride quality, though, remains one of the Ridgeline's greatest strengths. Thanks to its unibody construction, it drives more like a crossover than a truck, with a smooth, composed feel on pavement that makes daily commuting and long trips far more comfortable than rivals. Fuel economy is decent for the class, with estimates around 19 miles per gallon in the city and 26 on the highway, depending on configuration. While there's no hybrid option yet, rumors suggest Honda is working on some form of electrification for the Ridgeline in the near future, but for 2026 it's all about refinement and incremental improvements rather than revolutionary change. As for pricing, the Ridgeline starts in the mid-$40,000 range, with base trims offering strong standard features like Honda Sensing driver assistance tech, dual-zone climate, and the in-bed trunk. Climb up to higher trims like the RTLE or Black Edition, and you're looking at prices that can touch the mid to high $50,000s. The TrailSport slots in between, giving you a bit more off-road flavor without going overboard. While that does make it one of the pricier options in the mid-size truck category, Honda is banking on the Ridgeline's unique mix of comfort, innovation, and reliability to justify the cost. So, what's the verdict? The 2026 Honda Ridgeline is still not the truck for everyone. If you want a body-on-frame bruiser with max towing and rugged image points, you'll probably lean toward a Tacoma, Ranger, or Colorado. But if you want a truck that feels genuinely comfortable to live with every day, one that prioritizes smart design over macho posturing, and one that blends SUV-like civility with enough capability for weekend adventures, then the Ridgeline makes a compelling case. It's different, and in a segment that often feels like an arms race of toughness, Honda's alternative approach stands out more than ever. That wraps up today's review of the 2026 Honda Ridgeline. If you found this breakdown useful, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to Car Flash for more honest car reviews, and drop a comment down below with your thoughts. Do you think Honda's approach makes sense? Or would you still rather stick with the more traditional truck? Until next time, this is Car Flash, signing off, where every car has to prove itself under the lens of reality.